Alright. What is Trinity? Now, I didn't really want to do this. I've just talked for 1 hour and 47 minutes, or 37. This is a really insane day. Please answer why I'm doing all of this. Now, my answer to what is Trinity is, I just looked at this image that I created here again, just to get an idea what it actually is, and I looked at it and I already realized. Because what is Trinity? We live in a world of duality, which means good and bad, black and white. But, well, what basically Trinity does, it brings together the seemingly separate concepts of duality through the holistic approach. Now, the holistic approach is basically the higher self. So if you have a monk, the monk who is a renunciate basically tries to give up all worldly desires and live in a constant state of higher awareness so that he can keep a level head, because he manages to somewhat stand above his emotions, and his emotions in that sense don't exist because he does not claim these emotions for himself. He simply recognizes that there is an emotion, and he would probably say, well, that's just energy, Because from the standpoint of the higher self, you stand a bit above the emotion. But this only works if you acknowledge that there is a left and a right, that there is a world of duality, and that most people do live in a world of duality. That, they run around their life and they judge everything. They judge themselves, they judge others, and they say this is good, this is bad, transgender, not transgender. If you're not transgender, then you're against me. But from the perspective of higher self, you can say, all right, in what way does it impact me if somebody wants to be transgender? And this is a very hot topic. I'm just talking about it because if we don't talk about it, it's just gonna become a really, really tough problem. Because I think if you look at Trinity, then we have left and we have right. We have male and we have female. And I can get drawn into an emotion that says, I think I'm a man. My body says I'm a man, but I feel like a woman. Now you can get drawn into this emotion, and then you can go to a psychiatrist, and then you can talk about stuff, and then you can have surgery done or take hormones. Or you can retreat back to the higher self, look at it from a higher perspective, and you can say, oh, wait, I have male and I have feminine traits. I can do crochet, and I can punch somebody in the face if I want to. I can be really manly, but I can also be a bit more feminine, a bit more caring, a bit more gentle. I can stroke the woman that I love, I can be gentle with her, but I can also be firm, right? I do not have to resort to violence if somebody angers me. I do not have to bite you in your finger if you disagree with me, or if I have the feeling you're better than me. No, I can simply see it from a perspective of higher awareness and say, hey, I live in a world of duality, but I acknowledge the fact that You know, we are all one. And that's what I mean with the holistic approach. That's the feeling of connectedness. And if you only live in a world of duality, you will always feel separated, because you will always feel drawn to one side or the other. You know, is it good that I don't sleep with women at the moment? Or is it bad that I don't sleep with women at the moment? And then from a place of higher awareness, you simply say, I don't sleep with women at the moment. And from that place, you know, that's the place of acceptance. There's a left and there's a right. You try to struggle against it, you accept it. And that's basically your entire life. You see left, you see right. For some time maybe you will only see left, or you will only see right. You will only see good, or you will only see bad. You will judge everything. You will think, you know, there's only one God, and that's the Christian God, and everybody else is false. Until you realize, well, you know, who's Allah? It's a word. What's God? It's a word. Some people worship nature. You know, some people worship soccer. Some people worship their car. Some people worship children. Some people worship, you know, only themselves. You know, they try to run around like they're the only one. But if you consider the holistic approach, then it's very hard to hurt others, to harm others willingly, simply because you acknowledge that, you know, you are connected to everyone. And that means you turn into somebody that's like quite empathic, which means you can feel for others because you can see yourself in others, but you still acknowledge the fact that, you know, we're also separate from each other. You know, I make certain choices. I don't have to get you to agree with me at all costs. But if we would have a discussion, you know, I know what I'm talking about to a certain point. But my goal is not to destroy your opinion, but maybe to help you understand why you have the opinion. Because if you cling too tightly to your opinion, you're also vulnerable to be manipulated into doing certain things. So if you think that science is only good, or getting high on cannabis is only good, you may fail to see that if you continue to get high on, you know, science, on thinking that, you know, we are better than nature, you know, we control life, you fail to see how many bad things we do in order to persist in this ideology. And the same goes with, you know, if you think that taking amphetamines is good because it makes you feel powerful, you know, you don't see how it deteriorates your body. Because drinking a coffee is one thing, you know, eating sugar to boost yourself is one thing, but taking amphetamines, taking speed, taking crack, I mean, you just have to look at the people who take it. But if you're the one taking it, it's very hard to see it. So if you want to change, you have to first look at yourself from an outsider's perspective. And then you have to look at, you know, where am I clinging to left and where am I clinging to right? And that only works from a higher awareness. You can get to a state of higher awareness through the ingestion of psychedelic agents. So you can use cannabis simply to get off. You can use sex simply to get off. Or you can use cannabis to heal, to take your time, to lie down, you know, to smoke without tobacco and to simply relax into yourself. And then to see whatever emotion comes up. You can have sex with a woman just because you have the desire to fuck someone and get rid of your frustration, but that's, again, you know, very one-sided. But if you consider the other being as somebody with feelings, you know, I've had a lot of situations where I slept with women and, you know, I put in a lot of effort because they thought I had to work extra hard to get them, right? And then I would massage them, I would stroke them, I would hug them and, you know, kiss them, and they gave basically nothing back. They just thought, yeah, I just have to lie here because, you know, he's just gonna use me now or whatever, you know, and that's all I have to do. But that's not all there is to it. You know, you come together as man and woman and you create a child, and you may even say that that's Trinity. That as a manifestation of the masculine and as a manifestation of the feminine, you can hold up the higher self together. But you can also do it alone, right? That's what meditation is for. But that's your choice in the end. If you feel like you're drawn to sexuality, if you feel like you are drawn to having a partner, if you feel like you are drawn towards having a family, you know, these questions are easily answered if you learn how to get into the meditative state, also without psychedelics. You know, but anything I say is psychedelic because we are psychedelic. Because what's psychedelic? It's just higher consciousness. And once you realize that everything psychedelics show you, you know, is already you, it's just a facet, it's a perspective you did not have before. So I keep growing, but I feel like the jumps that I'm making are a little bit slower. I think so, you know, that's how I feel it, you know. And then you can ask yourself, what's the position of Trinity in the Matrix? You know, it's hard to say. I don't think there was any great meaning to her character, but I'm not quite sure. It was certainly something that motivated Neo to do great. And maybe I would have to watch the movies again to figure it out, or just try to remember because I've watched them, I know the story. So Trinity comes from three, Trinity. Well, that I'm not quite sure about. But what I'm sure about is that, you know, the answer that you want to have is in the middle. And, you know, they say in Christian religion, you know, it's like the Father, you know, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's a fabrication. You know, if you say in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, then you also have to say in the name of the daughter and the mother, which means it's probably best to just, you know, that's like distorted, masculine, rational. I don't do that. You know, if you have a pyramid that goes upwards, you also have a pyramid that goes downwards. You know, it's the phallus, you know, the I send out, and then it's the feminine, you know, I receive. You know, the symbol for, I think there's an upward triangle and a downward triangle. It's a pyramid, you know. The man shoots into the woman and life comes out of it. And together, I think you call that the Mahabharata. Two pyramids that evolve around each other. Let me have a quick check. I have a book here. I'm not sure if it's in here. Merkaba. I'm not sure. Yeah, I thought before it was in here. One, two, three. Okay, I think it might be. So Metatron's cube. You can look that up. There are two pyramids in there. One downward, one upward. And I don't have to look at what it says in here. That's just what I know. Because I'm quite connected to higher wisdom. That's just how it is. I mean, I can just start talking. The Merkaba is also a good... It's light, spirit, and body. Now we have something interesting. the Merkaba, it's light, spirit and body. Light, you could say, is the, that's like up. And then the spirit is just what, I don't know, that's probably the middle. And then the body, that's like also the feminine, because it comes from nature. Your body comes from nature, if you will. And the light is like all this cosmic stuff, and then in the middle is the spirit. I feel like, I'm spirit, and I'm drawn between this intellectual self, that wants to understand, and the one that just wants to feel. The part that just wants to feel is the emotional, feminine, and the part that wants to grasp things with his mind, that's like, the part of me that's seeking the light. And in between there's this spirit, so I'm an expression of my spirit. I would say my spirit is my essence, and I can use the light to shine it onto the emotions that I feel and that come out of the ocean of emotion, which I would say is the primordial soup of the universe, which is basically the feminine, it's the madness. I can use my higher mind to look at the emotions that I feel and what I've manifested around me, or what has manifested around me, and then I can make a conscious choice, that is in line with my spirit. What does my spirit want? What do I feel like I need, whatever in this life, in order to grow? To me there is no this life. It's like, to me there has been no life before, I think, but I'm not sure about it, and I don't think I will ever know. I just feel like I'm here now, and that's what's important. Why does it matter who I was before, or who I will be in the future? Because I'm here now, and I can make choices now, and if I can do something to help humanity to grow out of this madness of destroying nature and find back to balance, then I'm gonna do it. So I work at an insane pace, and I try to keep alive, but I'm also being kept alive. And that's really strange. I'm being kept alive, it's not like I choose this really. It's just, I don't feel like I have a choice in this. And sure, I could choose something else, but, it's not a choice to me because it's not what I want, right? My spirit wants this. And I've looked at it adequately with my mind, and looked at, what emotions I feel with it. And I realize, if I look at myself from outside of myself, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I will never fully understand what I am or who I am. Because understanding also comes with these kind of words, right? I have moments where I just feel like, that's it. But these moments always pass. And that means, it's like letting go and then clinging. I'm always clinging to something until I have to let it go. You're clinging to people, you're letting it go. You're clinging to this body, you have to let it go at some point. But do you? Maybe I'm a god on the Olymp. I don't know. Figure it out for yourself. What's Trinity? I just gave you some thoughts. Work with it. That's all you're ever gonna get. Ideas of others. I'm just an expression of certain ideas that I accepted into myself. But I'm also quite flexible, right? And maybe that's, maybe I'm an Aquarius, whatever. Maybe I'm Triton, right? Maybe I have a trident and I'm digging for truth in the dirt. I can shoot my light at stuff. I don't know. I've got blue eyes, I think. Other people tell me it looks like that in the camera. But maybe that's just what, I don't know, right? It's like, sometimes I look in the mirror and I look different than the day before. How is that possible? It's like, super strange, Your job is just, don't just kill yourself. I mean, just live. Try to figure it out. I'm trying to be super positive. But, you know, I don't always like what I'm doing, I'm just doing it. Because I'm good at it. And that comes with acceptance, you know. If I say good or bad, you know, I feel good about it, I feel bad. I'm just doing it. I'm here, I'm doing it. Because there's nothing else to do. And I want to do something, so I'm doing it. I don't know why I want to do something. You know, why don't I just sit around and slouch? I don't know, right? It's like, some questions are too ridiculous to answer. Just accept it. You're here, you want to do something, do it.